Welcome to Peace, Perspective, and Poetry.
Audrey, thank you for being here. Thank you for being a guest on Peace, Perspective, and Poetry. Just want to acknowledge you. You are a natural mystic, intuitive, you're a clairvoyant, and also an astrologer. You meditatively paint, and you paint to create Audrey Arbe art, which has been displayed at the Boca Art Guild, Art Serve, the Broward Art Guild, Coral Springs Art Guild, and other venues. You've also are a part of or is your art is part of your book, The Mother's Manual, a spiritual and practical guide to child rearing and motherhood. You also have a book called What If You Are and Life is Miraculous. Is ABCs to ABC affirmations, art coloring, and you host Miracle Manifesting Mondays on
No, not
Blog Talk
anymore.
Radio. blogtalkradio.com Goddess Heart Network. You're a
I
native New
stopped
York,
doing that.
and you won the 1998 Inspiration Award at the Hometown Video
Oh God,
Festival.
that was a while ago. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm just acknowledging your accomplishments, and again, thank you for
Well,
being here. And so what this is, I know we talked about it, but this is Peace, Perspective, and Poetry. It's the purpose of this show is to provide an alternative for people so that if they want to or would like tools or a pathway to experiencing life from a perspective of what can work or what's working, then that's what this show is. We speak from a what we want perspective, and it's a perspective that's not normally the most popular way to communicate. So it's interesting. It's an interesting process to get gifts, and this is also a show of the Creators Gift 137, a nonprofit. We're a nonprofit organization that represents peace. So, Audrey, excuse me. I always want to call you Audrey. I think it's because your two names together. So Audrey, when you think of peace, because I see your platform, your card, and everything, it's all about peace. So when you think of peace, what is it that comes to mind for you?
is it really just something that comes to mind? It's a vibrational energy. And for me, among other things, let's see, for me to describe it without using the word peace. Peace is being at one with oneself. Peace is being in attunement with, however one wants to say this, the vibration of our planet. It's connecting with, okay, I have my own kinds of words. It's connecting with the source of all, that we can call it source, universe, goddess, God, so all kinds of words. I had a client who called it, we don't have words, we have many words, we're all part of it. It's that, okay? And it's living in accordance with that. It's also, I'm a healer, I'm an energy healer, and I am a natural born mystic, intuitive, and an artist. These are some of my pieces. And it's called Audrey Om art, art that opens the heart, because I paint, I meditate, and I make an Om, which is the Sanskrit symbol for the unity and oneness of all. And it's the Om,
Right.
and that. And so that's why it's called that. And then I can overpaint it. You won't always be able to see the Oms in any of these, but it's in all of them. And so to have peace, and it's a journey, at least for me, it's been, and with my clients, it is a journey. If one hasn't created I'm finding ways to say this without saying peace. If one has refrained from creating harmony internally, they're not going to have peace. And we can get annoyed, we can get upset. There's all kinds of feelings any of us can have. It isn't about denying them, because that will so not work. It's about finding an appropriate way to express them. And if needed, which it often is, how to release any of the anger or rage or pain or resentment of any of this stuff, so that, and not at somebody, not calling them out, not like that, which I have done, very ineffective, but how to transmute that to a higher frequency. And I have ways to do that. Guides have shown me, and there are many of us that have ways. And in real manifestation, if anyone wants to manifest anything, you always go for that which you desire. Otherwise, you're going to manifest the other stuff. And so I am one of those. There are many of us that work with that. A lot of people, I've been one of them, and this is the work. Instead of one's fears and letting that dominate, or the internal dialogue, which can be telling you everything that's wrong with you in the world and everyone else. And a lot of people can live from that because it's so da 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 da. There are ways to lower that, nullify it, bring it down, and then operate from the other level. And if people ask, does that take any work and effort? Yes, it does. Okay. And when you get there, I practice every single day doing certain breathing attunements, and to help me create this. And I am a light channel. We can have all different words, okay? So many words, okay? And in the morning, or whenever I get to do this, it's usually in the morning, among the things I do is, after I do my breathing meditation, my breathing attunements, which you can find them, by the way, on my website, because I teach them, I give them away. And the website is Audrye Now, AudryeNow.com. After I do that part of what I do, I send out healing energy to the whole planet.
Wonderful.
Needed.
I want to ask you a question, because you made a distinction in the beginning, prior to you, when you first started speaking. You said that you are a healer and a mystic. What is the difference?
A lot of it blurs. A mystic is a way of being, a way of thinking, and the energy that one's carrying. Healing. See, I feel we all have abilities. I know we all do. Some of us have it in some ways more than in other ways, for sure. Like techie is not my strongest suit. Painting is,
Yeah.
and others are. But healing, I'm a healing channel. I can call on, and I teach people how to do this. I can call on the higher frequencies that exist and send them out. I'm also Reiki master and a few other things. Do I always do Reiki per se? No, I call on the energy and I follow the guidance, and that's what I do. And people feel better. And I'm always, always grateful and beyond belief. It's like being in. I was reading one of Dr. Joe Dispenza's books. I didn't finish it yet. And he was talking about the quantum field. And what he was describing as quantum field is what I describe as lifting your frequency. So I started to laugh, because I did. And I thought, so all this stuff that I've been teaching and that I do, and that I call lifting your frequency, because it is being in the quantum field. So for all I know, I've been gallivanting in and out and around the quantum field for years, or at least that aspect. I'm not saying the whole quantum field. And now some of my paintings, they're on the other wall, literally, some of what came through me was like an aspect of it. But again, I'm an artist. Okay.
Yes.
And if you don't like it, it's lots of clairvoyant. I'm a lot of stuff. Okay.
Right.
This comes through.
So how did you recognize these various aspects of yourself, and did one come first and then the others came after, or was it like it was just boom and wow, I'm all of this.
It wasn't. I'm a natural born mystic intuitive. I use that word because that explains it the best. I'm natural intuitive. Okay.
Yes.
So as a kid, I would know things. I would sense things. I would feel things. This is normal for me. This is normal for me. And I remember when I was 10, in my zeal to be helpful, and I usually like to be helpful. Now and then it's like, leave me alone. I'm in my own space right now. And that's important for people to know how to do also, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And so my mother was, I'm the firstborn of three. And my mother was doing something with my brother, and I was 10. My brother was 5. And I saw and felt and sensed, okay, so I use big words, that what she was doing was almost contradicting herself in some of what she was doing for him. And I was shown that there was going to be confusion in my brother and his behavior with my mom. So I found the words at 10. Didn't have quite this vocabulary to say to my mom some of what I saw, because I was looking to be helpful because it was obvious to me. And although I said it nicely, I was told I didn't know. I was a child. What did I know? These days we would call it being invalidated.
Mm-hmm.
So um, I got that she didn't get it. And I didn't want to be invalidated. And even though I recognized that that's what was happening, although I had smaller words at the time, I found as I went through life, I still had to clear that junk out of my energy field, because even if somebody knows with their mental mind that something is wrong or inappropriate or not their best, if they don't energetically clear it, and it isn't only words, if you folks, I wish it were only words. That would make it so much easier. So if that were the case, I use the term genetic karmic patterning. Some people use, because the guides gave me that over 20 years ago. And yeah, about 22 years ago. And if we refrain from healing that within ourselves, then any of us can repeat some of the same junk. That's one of my technical terms. Some of the same junk that's floating around. And energy healings help. Language helps. Having awareness definitely helps. Emotional clearing helps. It's all part of it. But it isn't like, oh, I'll just read this thing, and it'll all go away. That's not what I have found to be the case. It may help, definitely, but it goes deeper. For that reason, I have online courses, because I really am super passionate about really living in a peaceful world. And some people think, I found this out when I did other people's seminars, that peace is boring. No, peace is very alive. Peace is energizing. Peace is where creativity comes from. Some people think it comes from pain. Well, it can. I'm not even go into the levels of pain I've dealt with. So, but the real highest level that I've so far been able to tap into comes from peace and love and the higher frequencies.
So would you?
And
Okay, I apologize. Go ahead.
well, that's why I created some courses. My first course, a lot of people don't love themselves. I have lived that, okay? You don't get anywhere if you don't love yourself. I mean, you can get somewhere, you can get in a lot of places. There are people that have, I don't know, have reached what can look like a lot of accomplishment, but they don't love themselves. Then can I tell? Yes, I can. Okay. And they'll do inappropriate stuff. Okay. So it isn't that one can quote unquote achieve. It's like, what are you achieving? What are you actually creating? So my first course, because it's really important that we all love ourselves to some degree. And it's again, a spectrum. Okay, it goes more and more. And that one is what I call the morph course. Morph into the magic of self-love, soul essence self, and ego personality self. And I teach in that course how to love yourself. And I guarantee, and I do that, I do guarantee that if you do the course as it's designed to be done, you will love yourself more when you complete than you did before.
That's perfect. I love everything that you're saying. I want to back up a little bit because you said some things. I just want to make sure that it's clear. So you said that you came into this awareness when you were basically a child. Do you remember, or do you recollect that first time, or that that aha moment that this is who you are?
I don't know if as a kid it was enough. I just know. Okay, I didn't even think it was a thing.
That was
The
my next
fact
point.
that I was able to sense and feel things, it's like I have curly hair. This is my natural curl. The color is enhanced, but this curl, this is all me. I
Right.
don't have to do anything to have curl. It's my DNA. It's the way I've been asked, how do you make it curled? I don't. This is my hair, okay? And I just had it cut, so all cute.
Right.
And props to Trisha, Trisha's Beauty Bar. Okay, she does my hair. Anyway,
Fort
yeah,
Lauderdale.
she's very good. Yes, you know her. She's great.
No, no, no,
Anyway,
no. I'm just saying. So let me. So you're
so
saying.
I became aware of that, and then people would say you're intuitive, and I'd say, oh, as a kid. So it became like that. It's like I'm at a point in life that it's ridiculous to have false modesty. That's as silly as like braggadocio and stuff like that. Okay,
You've been around
I'm
for
at
a
a
while.
point.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, my guides when I changed decades in July told me I was now in the decade for me of mastery, and I had to claim it and own it and be it. So I said, okay. So I could no longer go, I don't know, I'm not sure. That's like, it doesn't mean I know with everything. No, I am learning as much as anyone, and I could learn anywhere. That's all up to us. So I was, and I still am an intuitive. I'm always evolving. Take some breaks. I take pauses. I'm not always like no. And I also have intelligence, which is a separate thing. They're not the same.
Right.
And I also have that. And at this point in life, it's the intellectual ability, it's emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence. There are many different ways. Some people have some, I have a few of them, and it's time to go beyond, go bigger, take it to the next level. That's why we're doing this. I would love, 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 love our planet to be what I feel is the possibility of our planet. This whole business with climate change, and then there can be those who are in denial of it. And I have to really tweak myself because I can have thoughts and feelings about that.
Yes.
And that's for sure. And I am a passionate woman. So I have passionate feelings. So I have to deal with them because I have been told by the guides that I am here. My job, my joy of being, my job, they told me, is to shine light.
Yes.
That's why I am here. And I said, what about my art? What about my books? What about the private clients? What about my courses? They said, that's extra. They didn't quite say, okay, but they said, that's up to you. But you're here to shine light. So that's it. And if someone's going to ask, am I the only one? No. Other people, we all have that. I am one of those people. That is one of my prime reasons. And now I'm getting back into painting again. I am so loving it. And so my work is some of it. I don't know if you can see it.
Yes,
My
yes.
big ones are in another gallery. Anyway, and all of these are available, folks. And So this work
Okay, I'm gonna turn it
goes
down.
beyond language because it's art. And when you look at it, and these can be held in any direction, it literally starts shifting your frequency.
Mm.
I had, I'm just starting to allow people to come into my space. I was one of those who really hunkered down during the bigger COVID, which, by the way, there's still COVID, not in this house. Okay, just let me say that. And I am healthy. And I had a brand new client and two of her kids because she wanted to see my art. And she's going to get to. Okay, anyway, and when they came in, and I don't go and say, it's like, hi, okay. They said, wow, the energy in this place, it's amazing. And this is
Yes.
one adult woman, one teenager, and one adorable, adorable baby. Okay. And people can feel this.
Yes.
Okay. One can sense and feel it. It's like if you go in a vibe, it's like, leave. When I was younger, and I feel that, and I go, okay, because that was the vibe, I would think to myself, well, give it a chance, because I used the logic of, I don't do that anymore. I had not then known to really trust my intuition because I was not taught to trust my intuition. So everyone watching, listening, however you're getting this, really develop your intuition. And if you want to know how, contact me, okay, and or Dada, and I will show you how. Okay, take any of my courses, your intuition will grow, literally. And when we really develop that, intuition is on a much higher plane than logic. Logic is a tool, and it's important to use, but it is not the juice of life. It isn't.
Would you say that that feeling, that vibration that your guests had when they came and looked at your work, would you say that's an example of peace in action, or experiencing peace and not realizing that that's what it is?
She knows something. I'm not going to name names because I don't think that's appropriate. Okay, but
Okay.
the mom, the adult, after we're talking, they just felt vibes. They walked in, and but my place is like an art gallery. Okay, just the whole everything. Okay, and they felt it right away. They both commented right away, and then they're looking at the art because that's what they were here for. Okay?
Right.
And they commented on it. At a certain point, I'm talking to the adult mom, and and the teenager at a certain point, and I'd spoken to her, and we had it was very nice. She kind of was leaning back and resting, and I was told by the mom, she's feeling peaceful and she can relax. It's all over and I had said when they came in, I said, well, you're in a healer's home. I said, this is not just words I say because it sounds good.
Right.
It is the actuality of it. It's a living reality. And if anyone thinks that that means I am every single moment on that high plane, I am doing my best to morph into and allow that. But no, I have to do my own practice. I can have all thoughts and feelings about a lot of stuff going on. I'm not just like this, although now and then I just want to be like that and leave it all alone because enough already. There are things going on that I've already dealt with in many ways and it's other people need to do. I'll still do my part, but not the way I may have done umpteen years back because I did that already. Now it's time for something else for me.
Would
And
you
yes, I'm
say?
checking it out.
Would you say though that like no one stays in that place? But would you say that when you're pulled in other directions, that you're always aware of where your core is, even though you might?
Oh, because I've been practicing for a long time. Okay. I'm not a kid. People can laugh at that because oh, you're so little because I'm 4'10". So they think I'm just so cute. Okay. Um, yeah, because people like, anyway, I know at this point, I call it my go-to place, the core is one of peace. It's amazing. It's not just peace. I bubble inside. I literally
Yes.
have this bubbling energy. And I had it as a kid when I wasn't feeling put down or any of that.
But
Okay.
even when you were put down, would you agree that a part of you always knew that no matter how you feel, no matter what direction you're pulled, no matter even if you get sad for a moment, that your inside, you always knew that that external, for lack of a better term, antagonism was was not more than who you are?
Well, let's just say in my life, I've been in circumstances and situations where that particular thing, that core of energy and light was not what was necessarily operating. I might have operated and had other stuff come out of me, and I did. And I am acknowledging that so people know this. And I've cleaned it up and cleaned it up and cleaned it up and cleaned it up. I have. Okay. When I wasn't in the midst of this, okay, with now and then a few people, yeah, I know that. And when someone gets really quiet with themselves, if you have the opportunity, and if you don't make the opportunity, you create the opportunity. Okay. Before you get out of bed, okay, go to the bathroom first, take care of biological necessity. And then, even if you sit and breathe slowly, even if it's inhale through your nose and hold, exhale through your mouth and hold. And do that like each time you move a finger down on one hand with the inhalation and then the other, and slowly, you will reach a place of peace within. Okay, so do that as a practice. It's one of the things I do. So when you build that and you have your quote go-to place and you touch your core and it's that peace, you're going to always know that. And it takes, and this is what I was saying to my visitors yesterday, and it takes regular practice. It isn't, okay, now, well, maybe when I attain to another level, I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet. Okay. When I still practice every day doing that, I do. So perhaps there'll be a time when I'm so there and I'm so able to operate at that frequency all the time and deal with earth stuff. Because when I'm on that very higher plane, and I'm not talking about any substances now or anything like that, I'm talking an energetic higher plane. That's where this art comes from, by the way. That's how I paint. I lift my frequency first. That's how I write. That's how I make my courses. That's how I do my readings.
So let me ask you this. So when I was younger, I used to, I mean, I would say, I don't know, in my late teens, early 20s, I had, well, actually before then, I had really bad anger issues, like just off the rail, and it would just come. I could go from this to rage in a matter of seconds. However, when I started paying attention, I noticed that no matter how angry I got, I could feel peace at exactly the same time. And I came to the understanding of the conscious awareness that peace is always there. Whether we are aware of it, whether we adhere to it, or whether we're conscious of it, it doesn't. It's not there. And our opportunity is to be in alignment with that existing aspect of us that societally is not promoted as being in existence. And so what I was asking you is, when it comes to that inner peace and being aware of it, that when other things are pulling you in different directions, did you, where do you feel the peace? Or is it an effort to feel the peace? Or is it that it's there and you recognize that it's kind of waiting for you, even if you might be away from it, come back, wait for it, come back, but there's a, that you can feel it because It's just like when I asked you, when did you become aware of your abilities or your gifts or your way of being, because it's a way of being. And it's like breathing for you, like you were talking about your hair. So on the same token, or in the same, pathway, would you say that when you're pulled away from that aspect of self, do you, or are you aware of that aspect that is always patiently waiting for
I
you?
got it. Okay,
Okay.
so I made a decision. At a certain point, we make sure. First, I'm going to say I don't quite feel that society doesn't promote this. It depends who one chooses to look at in society. The
Yes.
world, like the world I live in, where I choose to put my focus, are plenty of people talking about and creating peace as the way of being, growth as the way of being. And the ones that aren't, to me, frankly, are sick in one way. They have attitudinal disease. So let me just say that. So I have a somewhat different approach to that.
I get
Is
it.
you
I
have
get it.
okay, you have mainstream. I'm not mainstream. Okay. And so whatever that is. So for me, because I made a decision. We make choices about who we choose to be. We actually have something to say about that. We have a lot to say about that. And because I choose, and I literally choose to operate on a higher frequency, because one, I like it. Two, it's what I'm called to.
And
Three,
it
it
feels
feels great.
wonderful.
Four, it keeps me healthy. And then other lifestyle stuff that I do. And so I don't think I ever get fully pulled away from it. I can get annoyed. I can give
Exactly.
examples. I can, and I can have a mouth that doesn't always sound so sweet. And I know those words. Okay. And I know about the anger thing. My daughter once said to me that I could go from 1 to 10 with anger in a finger snap. And yes, I have known how to do that. So what I had to do was first recognize it, and I knew where it came from on many levels. I'm not saying on the umpteenth level till the end of time, but I knew. So I worked on it and did clearing on it. And yes, I have exercises to help people deal with that in a positive way, because it's a reality. Okay. I don't get that angry anymore. If I find that my energy and my thing starting to go there, I stop. I literally stop. I hold my energy. I breathe and I make choices about where I'm going to be with it. Now, there was one time I take buses a lot. At the moment, for a while, I haven't had a car, and I live in an area where this is not New York City. This is Florida, okay? And let's just say that somebody on the bus was extremely rude and extremely vile acting. And as I'm not the tallest person. And even sitting down, I had to sit down, and he was like this, okay, taking 3 seats. And I needed to sit down. I had a cart filled with food. So I asked him, and he was rude, 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 rude. And I'm not going to repeat language, but okay. And at a certain point, I literally said a few things to him, and not sweet. And at a certain point, he didn't said not didn't damage me. Okay, this is in a public bus, and did stuff and said things. And when he left, he took his leg and he stomped it down on my cart filled with food. Now I get stuff that's organic and holistic. I spend some money on my food. Okay,
Right.
and he did that. And out of my mouth, I'm not going to repeat, I don't need to, came not high level frequency language. It was this other language. And I said it. And I'm from New York City and I know some stuff. And so that came out of my language with that passion. And out he went finally. And then I turned around, caught myself, understood this, apologized to us. I literally did. I said, I'm sorry. They had seen what was happening because this guy was pretty obvious. And that was the end of it. And then I breathed with myself to really get myself back in my frequency because I did not want to be that. I did not want to be emanating that. That is not who I choose to be, which doesn't mean I'm going to ignore that I was, okay, because of, I don't like women being insulted, okay, and various other things. And
Right.
I for sure will not allow that, okay?
Right.
And so I stood up for myself. I mean, I was sitting down, but I stood up for myself in my language because this guy, and one can tell if somebody can be really dangerous, you can feel it. So I
Yes.
knew just to kind of keep it contained because I'm not, that's not my way, but I'm not going to allow me or anyone else, especially if I have purview over them, to be insulted. That's a no. And there's ways to do it energetically. And as I said,
I
he
was just
was
getting ready
the
to
way
ask
he
you that.
was. And I said what I said. And then I came back to me, apologized, and we went on. And I did some energy work to help clear the vibration in the bus
Have you
because
ever have you ever can you tell say of a time when you energetically altered the energy in the space and didn't have to say anything and you noticed the difference
yes,
others might not have?
yes. Eons ago, okay, maybe not eons, but in the course of my life, there were people who, before I even know I was a healer, okay, there were people who told me the minute you walk in the room, the energy goes. I was like, really? Okay. At that time, I hadn't quite, it was part of my journey in life. It was not now, it was then. And yeah, yeah, I don't have to say anything. I just have to be who I am. And when I lift my frequency, oh God, this was something, right? Oh, this was so funny. Okay, so this is going back. I was with my ex and he's no longer on the earth. So this was going back. And we were at this adorable restaurant that used to exist in New York City. Did you know anybody? Arnold's Turtle? Anyway, that was in the village. And I was lifting my frequency and blessing the food. And I'm not saying anything. I'm sitting where I'm saying, doing my thing, making a production. And somebody from another table came over a little while later and said to me, I was so amazed. Did you just put energy all over the place? And I was like, my mouth almost fell open. I said, I lifted my frequency and they said we could feel it. So people that are sensitive and anyone can enhance their sensitivity. And sensitivity is not something that's only female or male or cisgender or transgender. It's for anyone. It's for anyone. It's
Is
universal.
that part of what you teach?
That it's universal.
No, no, no,
Or how
no.
does it
The
work?
the raising of the energy or the alignment of self
Yes,
with all of
yes, yes,
yeah.
yes, 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 yes. I teach it with breathing attunements. I teach it with various practices. I teach it with some of, all right, in the morph course. And the link for the morph course, people, I'm going to say it. It's Audrey Now, Audreyenow.com/morph, MORPH. I also have one on healing sexual whatever. And and that one is audreynow.com/sex. And it's not a how-to course, although there are a few bits and pieces. And then the third course is the one I call Ism Freedom. And that one, the whole name is Ism Freedom. Be free of the causes and effects of racism, sexism, and other isms. And that one is audreynow.com/ism, ISM. So yeah, I teach that. And as I said, I guarantee that if you do the courses the way they're designed to be done, you will grow. You will. And you
By the
can teach them
way,
over and over and over.
just,
Mhm.
just so that you know, 'cause I'm not sure if you saw it, but on the website, under your bio at the bottom, the links to your contacts
Oh,
are
good.
listed. So if anyone is
Thank
not
you.
catching what you're saying, if they go to the website, see your bio, and they go read down to the
Thank you.
bottom. Yes, of course, of course. I love
Because
the energy that you possess and that you share, and
Thank you.
the gifts that you do, the what you do to assist with raising the consciousness of humanity, because that's what it's all about. Um, we're here to progress. So thank you for being who you are and doing what you do in the world. Before we
Thank
proceed, I don't know, does anyone here, would anyone here like to have a reading? Just so that we know it's okay. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, so we will continue then. Um, so is there of the courses that you offer, is one, or do you have one that's your favorite?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Right now, I used to do a lot of live stuff. I stopped doing that COVID. So the ones I'm doing now are those 3 online courses, and they are online. I recommend people start with the Morph course because to me, I call it the foundation course because that way you'll love yourself more. And because these courses are online, and once somebody gets it delivered, I don't take them away. You'll have it as long as we have these computer things, okay? And I am extremely quote unquote content rich. I put a lot into those courses. So you can take it over and over and over and over again, and you'll find new stuff. And you'll be able to
Yes.
go deeper and deeper and deeper and check out this and that and the other. Because as I said, I put a lot in it. You'll get
Yes.
videos that will show what it is I'm talking about. You'll get the audio. That's the part a person has to do in the course. Listen to the half-hour audio, 10 minutes of which is silent. So you can do some of what I discussed in the audio. And then there's what I call the expanded material, because I'm a writer. So you know there's written stuff. And I put a lot in there. And I had one client called me. I started laughing. Okay. She said, I can't do it all. I said, what? She said, all of this written stuff. I said, you're not supposed to do it all. You're supposed to listen to the half-hour audio. That's to expand yourself and do it piece by piece by piece. But I couldn't do it all because, as I said, I put a lot in it. But it's for you, whoever you are, if when you take the course, if you choose to over and over again, or go through one piece and then another piece, it's there for you. Because I don't
Yes.
know who wants what, when, where. I mean, and all of us at different times. But I mean, I just wanted to hug her. She's trying to do, no, okay. But you can go over it and over it. So my favorite to start with is the Morph course. And right now, my mega passion is for all of them is the ISM course. I
Hmm.
am beyond, okay, we're going to keep this on a high plane. It is
Yes.
such a waste of our time and energy and frequency as a species, as whatever we want to say what we are. Most people don't even really know what we are. It's still an exploration, by the way.
Yes.
Okay. To be dealing with such nonsense as racism and sexism and anti-Semitism and Islamophobia and trans, whatever it, LGBTQism, cultureism, elite, okay, it's such a waste of time
So would
rather
you
than
say, would
learn
you,
from
wait,
each other.
wait a minute, Audrey. So we stay on our vibration. So would you agree with saying that we have an opportunity to alter our perspective to one of looking at the choice that we have to unify as opposed to allowing the separation to have so much of an so much power?
I got it. Okay. So we're in the age of Aquarius now, and we absolutely are in the age of Aquarius is androgyny. If transgender isn't some kind of representation of that, okay. So I don't want us to be like the Borg. We're not identical, nor should we be.
Right.
Okay. So we need our individuality, and in that amazing individuality in the quantum field. Okay, look it up. Okay,
Yes.
all of that. We are all one. We're all from the same source, whatever you want to call it. Make up words. I call Goddess, God, Source, Allah, Great Spirit, Oshun, Yamanja, Yeshua. Pick. Okay, make more Baha'i. Okay, there's whatever it
Yes,
is.
you are aware. But I'm gonna stop you for a moment because both of our guests would like to have okay. Well, one person backed out, but the other person on the phone would like to have a reading. I don't know what your
Okay,
process
so
is, so you just do what you do.
okay, so first off, this is real. Okay, here's what I'm going to add. Oh, here's what I'm going to. Oh wow, I can see you. Holy cow! I'm like astounded. I didn't know we could do that. Okay, so I didn't. Okay, like I'm amazed. Okay, so when I do a reading, I ask for the person's name and their birthday. I'm not doing astrology now. I don't even have my ephemeral. It's over there. Okay, and with your name and your birthday, that gives me like what to tune in on. And because this is going to be brief, I'm going to ask you, and thank you, how I could help you. So give me your name, your birthday, the full birthday, and the full name, not like my name is Audrey, the whole thing. And if you don't want to do that, give me your initials, but tell me the truth. Tell me the truth. Because I respect your privacy very much. And so the name, the birthday, and how I may help you. What question shall I look at?
Okay. So my name is Angelique.
How can I help you? What do you want to know?
So much stuff.
Pick one.
I guess just general.
That's not what you want. You have something in mind, but let me see. I'm taking this stuff off because when I tune in and lift my frequency, the metal can sort of trap the energy, and I can't have that when I'm doing this. Much as I love jewelry, and I do. Okay, so what would you like to know? Okay, never mind. I'm already being thrown stuff. So what I'm being shown is you're like looking to balance or juggle something. It's like this. And you're not sure which way to go. Yeah, it feels like you're being pulled in both ways. Oh, this is going to sound so simple. This is going to sound so simple. The guidance is pick the one where your heart lights up. It may seem to be a little more inconvenient than the other one. It may not seem to make logical sense, but pick the one where your heart lights up, and it's where you want to go. And from me, I'm being pulled like this. I'm not sure what that might mean for you, but it's like this way, and it's not that way. And you've got talent you don't know about. You've got talent in your fingers. You've got talents in your hands. You don't trust yourself enough. You second guess yourself way too much. Way too much. You'll start doing whatever it is you're doing, and then it's like and you'll come up with all the negative, which is what I was calling the internal dialogue. So I also call it the id. And so that's part of what it's important for you to learn how to diffuse, because it's like, oh God, I can't. Sometimes they give me language I don't want to have to say, but it's like, and make this a cartoon, what I'm going to say. Don't make it regular. Okay, make it like a cartoon. It's like cutting yourself off at the knees. It's like stopping yourself before, okay, now delete that. Okay, okay. And don't do that. Don't do that. All that, and you can have naysayers around you who say, I want to do this, and they go, no, you can only do this. They may only think they can do only that. That doesn't mean that's all that can be done. So they tell me I have to wrap up. The guides who tell me I have to wrap. I have to listen to them. You understand this? It's not just clients, okay? It's really knowing what you really would like in your life, what it may take to get there, There's almost always learning and experiences and letting go. And if anyone thinks, including you just go like this, which is what I would like to do, it does not always work like that. Sometimes it's like this. You're smarter than you think you are. It's time to stop doubting yourself and whatever that stuff you might say to yourself. The minute it starts, and it's start saying to yourself, no, delete, release, and do any slow breathing. And when you're doing the slow breathing, your intention is to bring in a higher frequency. So you could tell yourself, I'm breathing in light, I'm breathing in love, I'm breathing in ability, I'm breathing in success, I'm breathing in prosperity, and you allow it to come in. And as you exhale, you're exhaling defeat, you're exhaling fear, you're exhaling failure. And failure is simply having an unexpected result. That's all it is. That's all it is. It's not the end of the line. I failed, okay? Anyone who looks to achieve anything is going to sometimes F up a little bit, okay? Or it's not going to have the exact read that. That's part of life, okay? So if one learns from it, it's not a failure, okay? It's simply part of the pathways. So you exhale all of that stuff. They're wishing you luck. And whoever it is you're loving, there are a few things there that need a little bit of tweaking, which we cannot get into now because I'd start getting into real detail. And this is a public place, and I can't do that. Okay, I have to respect who you are, and I do. So that would have to be private. Okay, has that helped you?
Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
Blessings to you. You're welcome. You're welcome. If you want, contact me.
Thank you.
Want, you're welcome. You're welcome. Blessings. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was wonderful. And so Corey, you changed your mind?
Yes, I have that. I'm thinking.
Okay, you're welcome.
I am astounded at being able to see people.
Ah,
Oh, just look at that.
magic of the internet.
I didn't know we could do that. Well, see, look at what I just learned. Yay.
So Audrey, no one knows how old you are, how long you've been on the planet.
I have to announce this.
It's up to you. I mean, you know,
Okay, so I don't think of it as how old I am.
how long you've been walking? How long have you been on the planet? I apologize. How long have you been on this plane? I never say that. I don't even know why I said that. I don't ever say that.
Okay. I
Yeah.
use that word old for my own self.
Right, I don't use it either. Again,
So, folks, okay, the reason I'm going to say this is because it's very important that people understand that we can go through the years and still keep our zest. So I turned 80 in July, and I have a big 80 because I had a party, and one person did the decorations. So I'd like everyone to know, really, going through the years doesn't have to mean you fall apart. Is there some maintenance required? Yes, yes, yes. It's like anything. It's like anything.
So you've been walking on the planet for a good minute. So you've seen a lot, and you're from New York, which I feel is a wonderful thing.
And that means the city, folks. That doesn't mean all.
Yes, well, the other part doesn't really. Yeah.
Okay.
What I do want to ask you before we conclude is there anything that you would like to share that wasn't asked or wasn't discussed? Is there something, because sometimes these interviews happen and you didn't get to speak about that one thing that is passionate to you?
Go to the ISM course. It is so important that we no longer have that stuff in the way. It is beyond important. I have friends in many parts of the planet, black, brown, beige, tan, white, God, who the heck knows what else. And because of certain things with people, even like multicolored, whatever the things like that, because of whatever their situation may be, we are such a rich species. We have so many gifts and talents. And as people get born, which is constant, okay, more talents are coming forth. It is so important for us to encourage that. And yes, I am a passionate artist. I am changing kind of where I'm being and doing and all of that. If you like any of this stuff, and I have more, okay, little and big, okay? Some of it is 5 feet by 4 feet, okay? Some of it is small. Get in touch with me, because to have one of these in your home will help shift your frequency. And then I thought you wanted me to do poetry. And I
Yes.
thought I'd tune in, but I thought, this is my book, What If? You are, and Life is Miraculous. This is my ABC affirmation art coloring book. I thought I wrote it for kids, but adults also love it. This is printed on 100% post-consumer recycled paper. When I say I care about the environment, I actually mean that. And I take steps in my life to, in alignment with that. Are they always easy? No, they're not always easy, but to not do it was worse.
Yes.
So I'm going to read from the beginning. So this is the beginning. What if,
Wonderful.
what if, that was for my grandkids. What if you are made of love and starlight, possibility and miracles, impossibility and divinity, energy and matter? What if you can be whatever your heart chooses, whatever you can image, sense, intuit, create, build, team, collaborate, know, and believe? What if you are a miracle? You are the one. You are who the world called forth. You are the best at being you. You are everything and no thing. You are everywhere, every way, every when, always, always. You are always transforming. You are being, becoming, doing. You are beyond what you know. You are scrumptiously divine. And then begins the coloring part.
Nice.
And it's A, B, C, all the way up to Z. And to give an example of some of this, because this is playful. I don't know, can you see this? I don't know if you can see it, but this is, okay.
Yeah, we can see it. We can see it.
So the A's, because this is alphabet. Astronomically, always, here we are. What if you are absolutely adorable, audacious, able, ancient, alike, astounding, atrocious, assertive, actualized, astronomical, and amazing? What if? And yes, the books are available.
Very nice.
Where are the books available?
Well, you can get it on the website, but actually, I have the books. And I just found out from my web guy yesterday that we don't mail from the website. So you'd have to get it from me. They are, am I allowed to, should I talk money? Should I? These books cost
Yeah.
more. Yes, no?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, the books are $25 because it costs a lot to print on 100% post-consumer recycled paper. But if you have a class or a group and whatever, these are my books. I can charge whatever I want for them. I'd like to at least make my money back because I know what I paid to get these printed. But you call me. And I don't normally do this, but at this point, what the heck? My direct number is 917-494-0628. I am in Florida. I may not always be here. I may be elsewhere. So I recommend getting in touch with me as soon as possible, because the universe has got stuff for me to do. And we will see that you get a book. It's $25 and well worth it. It's an amazing, amazing, amazing book. And you save trees with this book. We did not destroy any trees. On the first printing, we saved 8 large trees. And am I proud of that? Yes, I am.
Wow, nice, nice,
We got an award
nice.
from the, I had cataract surgery a little bit over a week ago, so I'm still kind of, but it's from a place that has to do with, I can know this thing and I can't read it yet. That is really upsetting, okay? When my eyes get a little more like healed,
Mm-hmm.
and we say this. But yeah, so when you have this book, you're helping the planet, you're helping yourself, you're having fun. And I don't know how many people know, but coloring and playing like that aligns your energy, it enhances your creativity, and you can do the lines, out of the lines, however you want, okay? And I also give instructions or possibilities of how to use this book.
Well, thank you, Audrey. You've been an excellent guest. You've shared wonderful knowledge. It's very, very much appreciated. Thank you again for being who you
you.
are in the world. And um, I'm not sure what I want to say, but I do. I really appreciate the words that you said and what you're offering. And I'm grateful that your message is so similar to mine because it's a lot, and we get to assist with spreading the knowledge and assist with raising the consciousness, and I'm grateful that you've been dedicating your life to this.
Yes, I'm born to it. Thank you, Dada, for this opportunity. I truly appreciate it. And for the guests who allowed me to do readings, thank you, because I know that takes courage in a public environment. Okay.
Yes.
Private readings, we go deep, which I'm not going to do publicly because I can't. It's your personal stuff. That would be a break of me respecting somebody's privacy, and I can't. I no, that's private.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All righty, and on that note, good night. Oh, and Pat, I saw you. Just want to say hi. Um, yeah, everyone have a wonderful, incredible everything all the time.
Yes.
Peace.
Bye. Thank you.